Let's talk about some of the misinformation that is out there, including these claims from former President Trump that FEMA is about $1 billion short because money has been going to undocumented immigrants. Also, that the areas of the Republican areas of the state are being intentionally ignored in some fashion.
You know, it's frankly ridiculous and just plain false. This kind of rhetoric is not helpful to people. You know, it's really a shame that we're putting politics ahead of helping people, and that's what we're here to do. We've had the complete support of the state. We've had the local officials helping to push back on this dangerous, truly dangerous narrative that is creating this fear of trying to reach out and help us or to register for help. You know, people need resources, and we need them to get into the system. And it's just, you know, a shame that people are sitting home on their comfortable couches while we have thousands of people here on the ground that have left their own families to be able to help those in need.
So much is going viral online as well. One user suggested yesterday that a militia should go against FEMA, got more than 500,000 views. What kind of impact has this had on the recovery effort?
It has a tremendous impact on the comfort level of our own employees to be able to go out there, but it's also demoralizing to all of the first responders that have been out there in their communities helping people, FEMA staff, volunteers, the private sector that are working side by side with local officials to go out and help people. I need to make sure I can get the resources to where they're needed. And when you have this dangerous rhetoric like you're hearing, it creates fear in our own employees. And we need to make sure we're getting help to the people who need it.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. So if you could update us on the recovery effort, are state and local officials across the board getting what they need?
Absolutely, Mika. We have over 4,500 people on the ground that have been here since before the storm made landfall, working side by side with our state counterparts in the communities with our local officials. And all I hear on the ground is gratefulness and compassion and a level of unity to make sure that we're getting people what they need. It's frankly disappointing that we're having to deal with this narrative. And the fact that there's a few leaders that are having a hard time telling the difference between fact and fiction is creating an impedance to our ability to actually get people the help they need. Yeah, I mean, his accusations are just completely false. I think the first thing I would say is just because you don't see somebody on the ground in a FEMA shirt doesn't mean we don't have people there. We have people that are embedded in the State Emergency Operations Center. I have teams that are walking around neighborhoods. I have teams that are embedded with all of the county EOCs. People are on the ground, but we're also bringing in resources, and it's not just FEMA. We are one part of the federal family. We have over 3,400 members from across all federal agencies in North Carolina helping to support this response. We will continue to bring in more resources as we go into the recovery and the long-term needs that these communities have. Kate, we really have just got to stop this rhetoric, because what it's doing is it's putting fear in the people that we're not going to be there to help them. And I worry that they won't register for assistance with us and get access to the critical resources that they are eligible for. And so I really just appreciate all of your support and at CNN to help us, you know, get the right story and the right message out there.
Because I mean this, false information when people are so desperate and in need is dangerous at the very least. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing signs that these rumors and the misinformation is taking hold, that it is becoming a problem and that people are grabbing onto it on the ground?
You know, I think that there is some people that are making, you know, these claims and believing this, but what I see on the ground actually is the majority of people, the local leaders, the sheriffs that are also helping to fight back on this narrative, letting people know that FEMA has been there with them, the federal government has been there with them side by side during the response and now the recovery, and they're the trusted leaders in that community. But I want to make sure that this has to stop, because if it continues, we will see more and more people not trusting their federal government to be able to give them
what they need. And so I need people to register for assistance so I can get them the financial resources they need to support their recovery.
Throughout the week, I've been reporting how FEMA has been taking over $1 billion of our dollars that's intended for disasters and shifting it towards the illegal invasion going on right now in our country. Now, FEMA's addressing my report on their website right now, calling it a rumor, actually. They're saying that this is false. No money is being diverted from the disaster response needs. Interesting. That's very interesting that FEMA is now denying this. And the reason why I say that is, take a listen. Okay, I never divulge who my sources are behind a story, but I'm going to do it now because I don't want FEMA calling me a liar. So my source behind all my reporting is actually FEMA itself. If you go to the same website, you search these headlines, guess what? They're on their own website, okay? I pulled all of this information from their press releases. They've been bragging about giving our money away to the invaders for years now. Now all of a sudden that they need more money from Congress, they're calling it a rumor, they're calling it a lie, they'll probably call it a conspiracy theory. But if you go to their website, and in case they delete it, we've got the archive, so don't you worry. And they're bragging about taking your money and giving it to people who are invading our country. That now that you, as Americans who need this money, guess what's happening to it? It's gone. We don't have any of it. And that's according to their own DHS Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas, who's saying that they don't have enough money to get them through hurricane season. Also, on that same website, they're denying the fact that they're broke. They're saying that that's also false. FEMA has enough money right now for immediate response and recovery needs, okay? So they're hoping that you're just as dumb as they are and that you're not going to fact check them on these things.